guys, I'm back. Oops. Let's see. Can we start now, or we have to wait for another 5 minutes, Hasno, because it's 8 p.m. right now?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay, we can start right now. And I might need you or Minion to help me to admit the guests, because I'll be taking the SAA role right now. So if there is any member or guest to join in the meeting, just admit them in. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's start the meeting. All right, good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Welcome to Elite Toastmaster Virtual Meeting number 10, and it's also our meeting for number 138. So let's give yourself a big round of applause. Welcome joining us in this lovely evening. Thank you so much. And before we kickstart the meeting tonight, let us allow me to share with you some of the housekeeping rules that we have to observe. All right, so can you guys see the, wait, let's see if I can make it a full screen. A moment. Oopsie. Wait, a bit challenging for me right now because this is my first time controlling the Zoom. All right, so can you guys see the poster right now? So in order to enhance the security and the privacy of the Zoom meeting, we will observe the following rules and regulations. First, only registered guests are allowed to enter the meeting room. Second, please rename yourself correctly before or after joining the meeting room. For example, your name and then bracket your role. So let's just say if you're a guest, just your name and then bracket guest so that we will know who you are. So third, screen sharing is prohibited without prior approval. Please remain muted at all times unless it is your turn to speak or being asked to. Please do not record, capture any screen, audio, or video using any third-party software. Please do not send over or download any file in the chat for the safety purpose. We encourage participants to turn on video to enjoy a full experience of the Toastmaster meeting. And our host will actually record the meeting, and the recording will be shared internally among the club members for the improvement of the club members. And the host will dismiss participants who violate the rules without any notice. All right, so these are some of the simple rules and regulations that we would need your cooperation to observe for the security of the meeting. And with that, without further ado, I would like to call the meeting to order, and I'll pass the control to our president, Hasno, for his presentation opening. Let's get out to Hasno.
Thank you, Yi. Thank you, Yi, for the lovely opening. Thank you. So, how about having a very loud, glad, and reaction that you are happy to join with our club meeting. Thank you for all the fellow members and guests for joining our club meeting number 138 with theme Inhale the Future, Exhale the Past. In my list, thank you for the guests for attending to our club meeting. And I saw there are about 8 guests attending our meeting today. And can I have guests to introduce yourself? Tell us about your name and where and how did you find our lovely Elite Toastmaster Club, and what bring you to our club today? So can I have our first guest, Janice, to start our guest icebreaker?
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So my name is Jenny, and I'm a journalism major, still a student, and I discovered you guys from Instagram. So I've been thinking of joining Toastmasters class. So I thought maybe it's a good approach to join your meeting for the first time. So yeah, first time.
Okay, thank you, Janice. Thank you. uh, for finding us in from Instagram. And hopefully by end of this session, you're able to have an idea what the Toastmaster program is about. And we're happy to invite you further on to be part of our member. And can I have our second guest, Vanessa, to introduce? I believe, Vanessa, you are from Dubai.
Hi, I'm Malaysian, but currently I'm in Dubai working as a cabin crew. And I found this elite club via Instagram, and I was very curious about how does it goes, and I'm very keen to learn and to have discussion and things like that. So yeah, I want to learn more on it.
Thank you, Vanessa. So
Thank
is this
you.
your second time attend our meeting?
No, this is my very first time.
Okay, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
So you all over the way from Dubai also.
Yeah.
Okay, can I have our third guest, Jia Yi?
Oh, hi. So my Chinese name is Jiayi. I can call me Genevia. So I'm from Penang, and this is my first time joining Toastmasters as well. I'm a friend of Vanessa. She's actually the one that introduced me. So initially I wanted to join Toastmaster in YMCA Penang, but then MCO happened. So yeah, I couldn't join them physically. So right now I'm joining you guys virtually. I'm a entrepreneur. I do my own ice cream business online, selling ice cream in Penang.
Okay, thank you, Jia, for the introduction. So this one is not first time for us to do online virtual meeting. So hopefully you have an opportunity to do clubbing for other club. Then you can more understand the program Toastmaster. And can I have a next guest, Joy Ying Pang?
Hello. Oh, okay. I'm Eve. You can call me Eve. Yeah, my
Eve.
Chinese name very hard to pronounce actually. Okay. This is the first time I joined Toastmaster and I discovered from Facebook. Yeah, the reason I joined this meeting is because I want to explore myself to more like public speaking. Because my job is related to a lot of like those like presentation and review thing. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Eve. Thank you for introducing yourself. So hopefully by end of today, at the end of the meeting session, you're able to get some idea about the Toastmaster program all about. And we are happy to discuss with you further after the meeting.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Can we take next guest, John, to introduce yourself?
Hello, Mustafa. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, fine. So this will be the second meeting I'm joining as for today. And then lastly, I really enjoyed the meeting. And then it's just like what you call that, the meetings. I mean, all the participants, I mean, what do you call that? They promote their ideas of the way of their title, which need to be, what do you call that? Need to be spoken about. They did well, so that's why I feel very impressed, and so I'm just what do you call that, catching on to the improvement on my part of how to, what do you call that, master my public speaking and so on and so forth. So I'm just moving forward.
Okay, thank you, John.
Okay.
Thank you for the introduction. And
Okay.
continue attend with our virtual meeting. So there's a opportunity for the virtual meeting. Thank you, Jiman, for the reminder. we have three more guests. We have Melanie. Can you introduce yourself, Melanie?
Hello, good evening. So I'm Melanie. I'm originally from the Philippines, but I'm currently working here in Jakarta, Indonesia. And I'm also, I'm a member from SCBD Toastmasters Club. Hi,
Okay.
nice
Okay.
meeting you
Thank you.
all.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. So can I have a next guest, Geneva, to introduce yourself?
Oh, hi. I think I've introduced myself just now. Yeah.
Oh,
Hello,
Jai,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
yeah,
Jai.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So can I have last guest, Galvin, to introduce yourself?
Oh,
Galvin?
sorry. Sorry, what are you calling me?
Yeah. Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, yes, sure. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Galvin. I'm from SCBD Toastmaster Club, and I was invited here by Aryo to join your club meeting. And what I do know is that Elite Toastmaster Club is one of the best club around here, because I do see you.
Gavin, you are mute. Gavin, you are mute. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were visited by BTM Lee Chen Chen as well. He was giving some inspirational speech. Yeah, and it was very, very eye opening for us. And and also to know that your club value is, and your club tagline is, "We expect more." I think it's very, very great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to join your club's meeting tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin. That's a having beauty about the clubbing over internet, over Zoom meeting. So it's opportunity for everybody in the Toastmaster meeting up and understand about other club culture. Thank you, Gavin, and thank you, Melanie, for attending our meeting. Now, seems that Jiman already reminded me a few times due to the time run out of time. So now we go to the next session where our new member first time will given a toast. Can I invite Yi Jing? Yi Jing, the control to you
Yes.
for the toast.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hasnu. Now, as today, before we go on to our toast session, I would like to share with everyone a small story, or a personal story from my high school experience. So, back when I was in high school, I was an okay student. I was an okay person. I managed to fit in well. I was the average student. I was the average person. And I had this one very, very close friend of mine. And to protect his identity, we will call him as Abeng for tonight. So Abeng and I were best buddies. We would go anywhere together. We were the bros among our classes, and we will even go to recess. We have our recess. We will spend our recess together. We will go out and play basketball together, and we were brothers, and we would do anything together. And were we didn't really study for tests, so we would also cheat in the small tests together. The small tests are not the big ones, only the small ones. And back at those days, for in Malaysia, we have an exam called SPM. Now, when I look back at those days, it was the SPM seemed quite small. It's a test that you take before you graduate from high school and move on to the next level of your life. So when I look at it from now, it seemed pretty small, but back then it was a big deal. And me and Abeng being best buds that don't really work hard in our studies, we got a surprisingly low result from our SPM. But when everyone was scoring their SPMs with straight A's, with the best scores ever in our life, me and Abeng, both of us, we were probably the only ones that were performing so bad. Now, I was pretty sad. And when I received the result, I was pretty sad. I couldn't really say anything. I looked at my paper and I told myself, ah man, maybe I should have worked harder. Abeng, he came up and he put his hand over my shoulder and he pat me in the back. He said, hey, we are brothers. Don't worry. You got only 1A. I also only got 1A. So we will get 1A together as brothers. But I was still very down. I was still very sad. I said, how can you say that? We could probably, we don't even know where to go. With this result, we don't even know where to go from here. So, but he was being very optimistic. And he said, hey, don't worry. We look forward to the future. We don't keep on looking back at all of this and keep on putting ourselves down. And I look at him and I say, okay, so let's not weigh ourselves down with what has already happened. No, we wasted our times, we played, we didn't focus on studies, we get bad results. Now let's move on, let's focus, and let's focus in the future and let's get better in the future. So even though we got really bad results back in during our Form 5 year for the SPM, we studied hard and continued and worked really hard, not too hard because there are other people working harder than us, but we worked hard and we managed to score good results in our Form 6 examination. And that is when we got our result, and we were all both of us, we were pretty satisfied with our results because we didn't let our previous year's results hold us down. We focused on the next year and we went ahead and did our best. So that to me, that's my experience of inhale the future and exhale the past. Because to me, it means that we embrace what can be in the future and we let go of what that has happened to us in the past. By embracing our future, I would like everyone to raise their cups and let's have a toast to a better future. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Oh. Okay, so now I'll pass the control back to Mr. President, Mr. Hassan.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you. Thank you for the lovely toast ceremony that you performed just now. Can we have a big clap to Eugene because this is his first time perform a toast ceremony. Give a big reaction. Now, without further ado, I would like to pass the control and also the airtime to our lovely, handsome guy, Toastmaster of our evening, Leonard. Leonard, control to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President Hasnu, and thank you, EJ, for his great toast just now. A very good evening to all fellow Toastmasters here today and guests from Indonesia and other countries. My name is Leonard. I'm the Toastmaster of the evening. As your Toastmaster of the evening, my main role is to coordinate and conduct the entire meeting smoothly. Let me begin by extending a warm welcome to our guests here today. Thank you for being with us. We hope you enjoy the meeting by the end of today. Also, a special note to our guests. You will have a chance to volunteer in our meeting tonight, especially in the table topic session later, if you wish, if you choose to, which I will explain what is table topics at the moment. To begin with, for the benefit of everybody here today, including the guests, I will start by giving a brief introduction on the history of Toastmasters as a club and organization. Toastmasters began as a series of speaking clubs organized by the late Mr. Ralph C. Smedley during his time working for the YMCA in Illinois, United States. Back then, he saw a need to provide a platform for young men in the community to learn how to speak, how to organize meetings, and more importantly, to socialize with peers who wish to improve themselves. As a result, he came up with the idea to organize a club to provide a platform to those people. The first unofficial meeting, Toastmasters meeting, was held interestingly on March 24th, 1905. So that is more than 100 years, which is exactly about 105 years ago. From there, the club flourished and expanded beyond the United States. Today, based on my research on the Toastmasters website, the club has expanded to more than 16,800 clubs scattered across 143 territories across the world, hosting more than 358,000 members. And this statistics was taken back in 2015. So now I presume the number would be much higher. Hence, Toastmasters today, for me, is truly a modern, global club which can provide a platform for individuals to improve their not only to improve their public speaking skills, but also to improve many aspects of their leadership skills, including organizing events and hosting a Toastmaster meeting like what I'm doing today. So, for tonight's meeting, there will mainly be three main components. The first component that we will start first in this club is to have the table topic session. So what is the table topic session? Essentially, table topic session involves having members and guests who practice their impromptu speaking skills. During these sessions, the table topic master will ask a question, and a participant, it can be a guest, it can be a member, and hopefully they will volunteer to speak. They are given 1 to 3 minutes to answer the question. So this session actually trains the participants' ability to think on their feet and also to speak impromptuly, in an impromptu manner. After the table topic session, we will move on to the prepared speeches session. This is where we have our members deliver their well-thought and well-prepared speech in a range of time between 8 minutes to 10 minutes, depending on the pathways and projects that they are doing. Of course, usually we will have 4 members, but today we have 3 members altogether, and I can assure everyone, the guests especially here today, all 3 members, Toastmasters members, they are fantastic speakers. After the prepared speech, we will have the general evaluator of the night. And today we have our grand mentor, Chen Chun, a very experienced Toastmasters. He will be the general evaluator. Oops. my mistake. A very senior and experienced Toastmasters as well. Toastmasters Washing. He will be the general evaluator of the night. And he will start by introducing the evaluators before moving on to allow the evaluator to evaluate the prepared speech. At the end, the general evaluator, Toastmaster Washing, will evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting, including myself, which is not evaluated by the evaluators. As the Toastmasters of the evening, it is also my responsibility to introduce the role players in tonight's meeting. I would like to first invite the R counter of the club, Toastmasters Vanessa Yap, to explain her role briefly to the audience. Can I have Toastmasters Vanessa?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Can everyone hear me? So as I was saying, well, basically, you know, at first glance, you might think I'm suffering from a nervous breakdown. So they are called crutches words, a collection of words we fall back on when we have lost our footing while speaking. My name is Vanessa, and tonight I'll be your R counter. Our goal here is at Elite Toastmaster is to become more effective at speaking. And one of the ways we do that is by removing distractions from our speaking. As the R counter, my duty is to listen carefully and keep track of any verbal distractions or speaking crutches that you use to fill spaces. These are words like are, you know, and, so, but, and other filler words or sound, or when you make noises with your mouth or tongue. I will keep track of repeating words like the red, or other versions of repeating. It's a false starts. When you begin to say something, you start over. Finally, I will also make a note of any distractions, pauses that you take in your speaking, but only if they are distracting. For each person, I will make a note of these verbal distractions and then give a report near the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Vanessa. Next, I will invite our grammarian, our seasoned Toastmasters and Grand Mentor, DTM Chen Chun. DTM Chen Chun, would you please come up to explain your role to everyone? Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the evening, Leonard. Whether you are an entrepreneur selling ice cream, or you're a cabin crew, or a professional, it is imperative for you to consciously be aware of the words that you are projecting out. Whether you are articulating an idea, expressing a thoughts, or merely spreading influence. And my role as a grammarian is to help you to identify what you have said and how can you say it better. And today I'm taking a very stressful role because the existence of Elite Toastmasters Club stems from the grammarian's role. So as you can see, grammarian, I have 5 minutes. So today I will pay special attention to the people who speak during the meeting. I will identify some of the habits that the speaker tend to do, the choice of words, grammatical error, and also the use of the words of the day. So if you want an expert evaluation, so please do volunteer yourself in the table topic session. And the word of today is paramount. The definition is supreme, superior, and excellent. An example is, it is paramount that we find ways to better articulate our ideas. So let's have a meeting filled with excellent use of words, phrases, and sentences, and I will give my report at the end of this meeting. Back to you, Leonard.
Thank you, DDM Chen Chun. Let me now proceed to the next role of the night, which is the important Rolex of the night, our timer, Wendy. Can I please invite Toastmaster Wendy to explain briefly on what is your role tonight?
Hello everyone.
Oh, Jingman, sorry. Toastmaster Jingman. Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Jingman. I'm your Lolex tonight. I will be helping the speaker practicing a thought within a specific time. My duty is to time all sections, including prepare speech, table topic, and teach evaluation during this meeting. I will be using the timing device in front of me. At the end of the meeting, I will report the duration of each speaker and each section when before. Back to you, Toastmaster Leonard.
Okay, thank you, Toastmasters Jingman. I've introduced all the key roles in the meeting today. So without further ado, I will pass the floor to the next session, Table Topics Master of the evening. Let me give a warm welcome to Toastmasters Rachel Leong. Thanks.
Thanks, Leonard, for the introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Something that I personally struggle with a lot is that I feel the need to plan for everything that happens in my life. And when I first witnessed the table topic session in Toastmasters, I was thinking, oh my God, like you can't practice an answer to the questions because they're all impromptu. So I realized that actually this presents a really good source for learning. And that's because most of life, right, is unplanned. I mean, if you think about it, when you go to an interview, you answer questions. If you go into the lift and you see your boss there, or even when your grandmother asks you, why are you still not married? So because most of life's questions cannot be planned, this is a skill that all of us must have. And as your table topics master tonight, I will introduce two components. So the first thing is I will give you a question about yourself. And since the theme is inhale the future and exhale the past, I thought I would shake things up a little bit by introducing a time machine to bring us back and forth in time. So basically, I will provide you with a question that you will answer. But here's the catch. You will answer based on what you think in the past or will think in the future based on a certain age. And the age will be determined by the random number generator. So I'm just going to share screen.
Can you share screen now, Rachel? I just made you the co-host.
Ooh, yes. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So this is my random number generator, which is our time machine for tonight. And I will present our volunteer with a question and then generate an age here. So the minimum age is 5, maximum is 80 years old. So if I just do a practice now, right? I generate 36. You will then answer my question based on your 36-year-old self. So just to reintroduce the timing rules, everybody will have 2 minutes to answer my questions. At 1 minute, you will see the green light. At 1.5 minutes, you'll see the yellow light. And at 2 minutes, you will see the red. So who wants to join me to travel in time? Anybody? Vanessa?
Yes, let's travel back in time.
All right, let's do this. All right, Vanessa, I will start with firstly generating your age, and then I'll give you a question.
Yeah, sure.
So I've just clicked on it. Vanessa, you are 38 years old.
Yeah.
Your question is, what am I meant to do in this world? What am I meant to do in this world, Vanessa?
Thank you, Toastmaster Rachel. What am I meant to do in this world? I have to think of it and set myself at the age of 38 and have this kind of mentality when I reach the age of 38. Okay. I believe when I reach the age of 38, I believe I will be pretty sure about myself, knowing what I want to achieve in my life and what's my goal in my life, and hopefully found a partner in my life by the time I'm 38, or have children by the time I'm 38. I suppose you are not supposed to find, I suppose it's very important to find your purpose in your life and your intentions, because as you are growing older and older, you should always feel that you are progressing every now and then. Every incidents or events that happen in your life should have taught you something that make you grow each and every single day. Well, I believe 38 is a lucky number as well, because there's an 8 at the end. So it will be, hopefully by then I will have financial freedoms to do the things that I enjoy, and to have my own business. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. Found that very insightful. I also wish to have financial freedom by the time I'm 38. All right, now, can I call on my next volunteer?
I would like to try to volunteer. Hello, I'd like to try.
Who is that?
We are Galvin. Galvin volunteer to.
Garvey.
Galvin.
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 Galvin, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I will first start with generating an age for you, Galvin. You are 53. So Galvin, your question is, what problem do I want to solve? What problem do I want to solve, Galvin?
Okay. So by the age of 53, of my age of 53, I think it would be by the year of 2046. By the year of 2046, I do believe that we have reached some kind of peaceful environment in the world, whereby we have achieved what they call as green peace and whatever, and maybe we have also reached those peace that has not been reached in war-torn countries. And I do believe that also a lot of financial problems that I have and many people have will also be eradicated. I do hope so. And by that time, I would be quite old, but still I do think that I still can do something else. I can still do something powerful for myself and for people around myself. In my opinion, I would like to in my opinion, I would like to solve the problem in my family first.
Galvin, you are mute. Can you unmute?
Sorry. Yeah. I hope that I can solve any kind of problem that I have with my daughters and sons, and I do hope that I can visit my grandchildren if I already have one by that time. Yeah, I think that's the only problems that I would like to solve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Galvin. I feel that you provided a very touching response, because people usually think of, problems like big world problems, right? But you allowed us to look inwards and think first of problems that begin at home. So thanks a lot for that. Now, who else would like to join me on this time machine?
I think I see Vance and Melanie, both of them.
Vance?
And Melanie.
All right. Vance, would you like to join?
Hi.
Okay, I will first generate your age. You are 36. And your question is, who am I most inspired by? Who am I most inspired by? Vance.
Oh, she's dropped off.
I think she has a internet connection problem.
Okay, then we proceed next. When she's
Yeah.
back, then we can give her.
Melanie, did you volunteer previously? Are you up for this?
Yes.
Okay, so should I pass the question on to you? You are 36 years old.
Okay.
And the question is, who am I most inspired by? Who am I most inspired by? Melanie.
Who am I most inspired by at the age of 36? Currently, I'm actually inspired by my parents. So my dreams in life was driven by my parents. The dreams that I have or the plans that I have in life was the result of the experiences of my parents. Maybe by the age of 37, I would be still inspired by my parents because they're the main reason why I am actually doing things that I am doing right now. My parents, or actually my family, they're the main reason why I am actually here in Indonesia, why I am working away, I am living away from my home country. And I I believe that by age of 36, my principles, my dreams are still the same, and the foundation of these dreams will also be the same. And it will always be my parents who will be inspired, who would drive me and who would motivate me to continue with my life, to pursue my dreams. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Melanie. Again, another very touching response. I also agree that parents can be the greatest source for inspiration for a lot of us. Just checking on time, do we have time for one more? Sorry, Jingmin, could you? Yes, one more? All right. I believe Vance might have come back in.
Hello. Hello, I'm back.
All right, great. So shall I give the next question to you?
Yes.
I will just quickly share screen again. All right. I will first generate your age. Vance, you are a little bit older than what you look now, 68. And your question is, what activities make me feel most alive at 68? What activities make me feel most alive, Vance?
Okay. Thank you, Rachel. 68 is a very huge number for me. I mean, let's don't talk about what I'm gonna do on 68 years old. Let's look another way. We look for the journey. I'm 23 right now, so it's gonna be 45, 43 more years for me. So in the journey, I believe I will meet a lot of people that I can learn
I believe everyone that I met have a faith with it. So how to say means we have a reason. Like I meet everyone here. There's a reason behind it. That's the faith between us. I because it's kind of a very old age. It's a retirement age. So I believe I will be not working on that age and just enjoy the life. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for your answer, Vance. I also wish for an early retirement, as I'm sure a lot of us do. So in the interest of time, I will close the session, but thank you to everybody who was brave enough to join me on this time machine. And I will now return the floor to Leonard. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Rachel. Without further ado, this is the time to vote for our best table topic speaker. So can I believe the poll is on the screen. So I will pass it to Toastmasters Yi to organize the poll. Thanks.
Thanks, Leonard. As you guys can see, the poll is up, and right now we have almost 80% of the votes. All right. I'll closing the voting in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thanks. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening, Leonard. Leonard, please unmute yourself, Leonard.
Thank you, Toastmasters Yi, for the reminder. Now we will move on to have the evaluation from the table topics evaluator of the evening. Can I please invite Toastmaster Ming Yen to evaluate the speakers, please? Toastmaster Ming Yen. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Wait. I'm Ming Yan. Today I'm your table topics evaluators. So the first speaker is Vanessa. What am I meant to do in this world when I am 38 years old? So the first impression Vanessa always gave me is her fitness activity, the enthusiasms she portrayed to us. So the thing I would first think of is really bring us to imagine if we are at that age, what we are going to do for this world. So there is a very good start for us. And then you also have a very good point, which is the financial freedom, which is so relatable to us and it impacts us well. And it reminds us to actually plan our financial planning, start from a very young age. So there's one point of improvement I would like to challenge you is your eye contact with the audience. So perhaps you could look at the camera, not looking anywhere else so that the audience will feel more connected to you. Anyway, you have participated in many table topics and I could really feel and see your improvement from the first day I met you. The second speaker is Galvin. Your title is What Problem Do I Want to Solve When I Am 53 Years Old? So what I like about you is your calm and your clear vocal. Okay, so with this kind of calm and clear vocal, so people will stay on focus on your speech and it is not distracting. The second strength of yours is your points. You have really good 2 points which you can think immediately. There's one, which is the family issues and also visiting your grandchildren when you are old. So there's one point of improvement I would like to challenge you is perhaps you could elaborate more on your points. Could elaborate more by giving us the examples and the implications. Okay, what you can do is you can always ask yourself the 7 WH questions so that you can have more points coming in to fill in your speech. You are a really good speaker. I can see from the way you are delivering your speech. And if you could have elaborate more, that would be better. The third speaker is Melanie. Your title is Who Am I Most Inspired By When I Am 36 years old? So all I could say is you are a really fast thinker. Okay, so just a blink of eyes, you could think of your parents. You are inspired by your parents. You can even think of the examples and the implications. So you were saying that you are living away from your parents because you were inspired by your parents to be an independent child, and how your parents actually train and motivate you. And I'm sure you will have a very good future then. So one point of improvement I would like to challenge you is your eye contact. Okay, so same like Vanessa, you could focus at the camera so that the people will feel more connected to you and we are not distracted by anything else around us, because this is a Zoom meeting. So if you have a very good eye contact, then people will stay on your speech. Melanie, although you are first time visited our club, but I could really enjoy your speech. So hope that you could join us more. So the last one is Vanes. Your topic is what activities make me feel most alive when I am 68 years old. Vanes, your first impression to me when you first visited our club was shy, but through this presentation, I could really feel your calmness. So your strength for this presentation is your calmness and your steadiness. It really suits your background. So your voice pace is okay and it's very clear for us to follow. And I would like to challenge you is the one point of improvement is perhaps you could have less hand gestures, because the hand gestures are actually blocking off your face sometimes. Then it will block people from seeing your facial expression. And the second one is perhaps you try not to shake your chair too often because it will be distracting too. Anyway, I really see your improvement and I hope to see you join in the next table topics too. Back to you, Leonard.
Thank you, Meng Yen. We will now move on to the intermission session. Before that, I would like to check with Jingman how long can we give, in the interest of time, how long for the
3 minutes.
Okay, so we will have a 3 minutes intermission. Thank you.
Thank you, Jiman.
So we'll be back by 8:56, yeah? All right.
Hi, Uyun. Thank you for coming to our meeting.
Hello.
Hello.
Yun.
So sorry. So sorry. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. So sorry I came late. Yeah, very nice. So Toastmaster Hasnul is the president, I saw from the agenda.
Yep.
Yes, so he's our new president.
Oh, congratulations. I think I saw you before. Like you came to Jakarta like
month.
club.
Yes, last month I clubbing at your club.
I see. That's why you are so familiar to me. Thank you very much. I really like the agenda, like very clear, and also you mentioned about the members as well. Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
Very detailed as well. Thank you.
Bye.
how did the magical Bali joint meeting went? Was it
Oh,
a lot of people?
marvelous, marvelous. We reached 57 people as the maximum.
57.
Yeah, 57. So like the average is like 50. And yeah, actually we couldn't believe that even many senior members also joined, like some distinguished Toastmaster also came, as well as other visiting Toastmaster from around Jakarta. Yeah, you should have come.
Yeah, I was
Very nice.
busy. But I should pay your guys visit soon. I love SCBD a lot. Especially
Yay.
after the meetings, me, Aryo,
Chris,
I can't remember. Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's
as
Chris.
well.
I think Galvin
When
was
you
there.
delivered a speech, right?
Yeah, were you there when I did the good done well job?
Yes, good done well. Really remember it, and also remember we expect more, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
That's our tech. That's our
Yeah, very nice.
Next time we bring some of our members to SCBD. They meet every Friday, right? Yeah, we can gather a group and make it.
Hi guys. I understand that you guys are very exciting in chit-chatting, but I'll have to stop you guys because it's already 8:56. So it's time for us to resume to the second half of meeting. And with that, I would like to pass the control over back to our Toastmaster of the evening, Leonard. Let's give a big round of applause to Leonard.
Welcome back, everyone. We will now move on to our next session, which is the spotlight of the night, the prepared speech session. Today, we have 3 wonderful speakers, and they will take turn to speak, to inform, impress, and try their endeavor to inspire everyone present here today. Without further delay, let me start with Toastmaster Suwan introducing him. Suwan, a speaker who is known for his humorous and engaging speeches. He is affectionately known as the Doraemon of the club. Introducing Toastmaster Suwan today, he will deliver a speech entitled, What Drives You? Let me first start by getting his evaluator, Dr. Aruna, to present the speech objectives of Suwan. I'll pass it to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leonard. Good evening, Toastmaster Suwan. The purpose of this project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and to deliver a persuasive speech at the club meeting. All the best, Suwan. Take it away.
I'll now invite Suwan to start his speech. Thanks.
What drives me? And that is the question that I always ask myself in the morning, especially when I have to face a daily task that's so challenging that it will affect the tenacity of the question that I always ask myself, what drives me? And sometimes if I'm lucky, I might find the answer. And I will wake up motivated and to ace that day. But sometimes if I'm not that lucky, I couldn't find that answer, I will continue to dream in the dream. Dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you ever asked yourself these questions? What drives you? And sometimes if I couldn't find the answer, I just slap myself. Suwan, you say you want to become rich. Wake up and go to work. But sometimes the daily task was so challenging that I couldn't pull myself up from the bed. Have you ever felt that feeling before? Or perhaps, is money really the motivator? Can the incentive, the rewards motivate me to solve that difficult task? Or perhaps Yi, would you mind just pull up the pools and ask everyone here, can monetary incentive motivate you in completing a challenging task? Thank you for your answer. And Yi, once it's done, just share the result. Thank you, Yi. And again, Some people say yes, some people say no, and some say maybe. And let me show you some case study that I found interesting by this guy called Dan Ping, and he wrote a book called Drive. And what in the book was saying that the candle problem. So what happened is, back in 1945, experiment was carried out that called candle problem. What happened is, the participant will provide some of the item and one of the tasks. Candle, box of thumbtacks, and matches. And the task is to stick the candle onto the wall so that the wax doesn't drop onto the table. And what happened is, this scientist called Sam Gosberg did an experiment. He divided two groups of people, a group A and a group B. So a group A have to solve this to set up a benchmark. What is the time to complete the task? And group B was given an incentive. If you complete the task faster, for example, 25% of the top, then you will get about $5. If you are the top, you will get about $20. And the A and the B work separately to solve the task. And what happened is, A actually took about 3 to 5 minutes, and B was given incentive to completing this task faster, and now take more time. And the solution is, basically you just have to take out the thumbtack box and thumbtack it on the wall and put the candle on top of it. So the team B has exceeded more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds than the team A. And you're asking yourself, hey, if you give an incentive reward, that person will perform better? It turns out no. But the same experiments carried out again. At this time, the thumbtack was put outside of the box. And obviously, the experiment became way more easier, way more simple, and way more direct. And certainly, the group that given the incentive is better than a group without the incentive. And this helped me to look in the if and then reward system, carrot and stick. If you do this, then you'll get this. If you hit your result, then you'll get your bonus. If you get an A in science, then you'll get a remote control car. And true enough, that this system is only work for a simple task, not for a complex task. So because if and then reward system will give you a thing that called tunnel visions, that it will make people, humans just like you and me, has a tunnel visions that you just focus on that direction without think out of the box and find a creative solution. So it doesn't work in the complex situations. And if you look at if and then reward system applies to the kids, if you get an A in science, daddy will buy you a remote control car. What are you trying to incentivize? You are trying to incentivize the bad behavior, that he or she can do anything, lie, cheat, or even beg for that result. And that brings me to the point that there's actually intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Yes, this is me, a bit fat, look like Doraemon, right? Intrinsic motivations and extrinsic motivations. Extrinsic motivation means money, rewards, fame, that spotlight that you get. But intrinsic motivations is something much more than that. And what you mean by intrinsic motivations, and I divided into 3 P: power, purpose, and proficiency. Quickly go through each of them. Power, autonomy. Autonomy, whenever ROWE is introduced, ROWE, result only work environment, introduced in 2011. This has become a big hit in North America. So what happened is, result only work environment, you can work anywhere, any place, anytime you want, as long as it produces result. And the other thing that autonomy did, Google implemented this as well, is called playtime. That every employee in Google allowed to have 20% of their playtime to do anything that's out of their scope of work. So from that playtime, produce some of the product or services like Gmail, Gtalk, and some other product. And next, we look at proficiency. Proficiency is something that Toastmaster implement. That's why they replace the traditional program into a pathway program. We call it leadership development proficiency. We call it presentation mastery proficiency because every one of us want to strike better in everything you do. And I like to end with a purpose. And last week, we have a team called Purpose, Feel, Passions. But the problem is, do you know your purpose? And for me, after go through a lot of months and years, finally, I managed to find my purpose. And I wrote down my mission statement. Like all the company have mission statement, you yourself must have a mission statement. Whenever I find my purpose, and that drive me. With that, thank you very much, and back to the Toastmaster evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suwan. The next speaker is someone who can always bring happiness through her speech to all her listeners. She and her sister is a well-known gym junkie who will feel depressed if they do not get their daily dose of gym workout. Introducing Toastmasters Taylor and her speech, Being Not Doing. I would like to first, before that, invite the evaluator, Toastmasters Iceland, to read out the speech objective.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leonard. So the purpose of this project is for the member to identify her primary leadership style and also share some aspect of her primary leadership style. Thank you so much, and back to you, Leonard.
Thank you, Toastmasters Iceland. So Toastmasters Taylor, Being Not Doing. Toastmasters Taylor.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leonard. Anyone? Everyone can hear me? Okay. What keeps us happy and healthy as we go through life? COVID-19, the lockdown, is a new normal. All of us has experienced it, and by now, the realization and relief that the work didn't end, and we don't need to stock up any more toilet paper. This pandemic has presented one of the biggest tests to all of us, and it's time to test our leadership during this time of crisis. As all the business have been forced to switch to virtual operation overnight, unavoidable leadership style would need to change. And changes, even a positive one, will face some resistance. Fellow Toastmaster and guests, have you experienced any changes in your company leadership style? And for those who is a boss here, who having a leadership role, have you noticed any changes in your leadership style, especially since the lockdown been happened? Doing it right, leadership style change will bring in positive outcome, but doing it wrong, it will just open up a whole new can of worms. In this time of crisis, we need to come up with a new modern leadership. A new modern leader must keep a generation of leadership learning. Instead, you should just take a leap into this modern leadership style. The good news is, now that you know that you are up to against all these conditions, you can use your strength to more prepare for a future. Even COVID-19 happened. Everyone has learned their leadership skill. And each of us use this advantage and benefit for us to be success. So, fellow Toastmaster and guests, today I will be sharing insight of how you generate a modern leadership style and how you're gonna master it, especially during this crisis situation. In order for you guys to be more into this situation, let's use our hero during this season, especially healthcare industry, as an example. So for leader itself, there's a two type of leader. The first one will be charismatic leaders. And during this season, the fact is people are scared. Fear are skyrocket for a good reason. And customer always looking for reassurance. For a charismatic leader, your strength will be your confidence. Charismatic leader have personality that exude confidence. People nowadays are naturally drawn to the confidence and more likely to follow this type of leader. And think about it. If you don't even have a confidence, your employee and your client are less likely to depend on you and don't believe that you can make a right decision. For example, let's use dentist industry. If your patient come in with a tooth pain, say, doctor, help me, and look for your direction. If you don't have an exude confidence to carry yourself, how they gonna trust you? It's so painful. I feel it before. So what the confidence help you to do is that you can giving to the patient that's seeking for comfort and safety, their trust, and believe that you can help them to be better. The second one, for a confident, for a charismatic leader, will be you having a vision. That's another typical trait of charismatic leader. They're always having a vision. People who value innovation naturally focus on the future and try to improve it. This trait will motivate and inspire other people to follow their vision too. For example, during this pandemic, everyone is working hard to come up with the solution to prevent the spread of the virus and make other people feel safe. If you can be innovative in that way and realign your practice in the safety for your clients and employees, like doing a body temperature check when they step in, doing a check-in for mice, etc. when they step into your store. They will show the gravity towards this vision. And you should be the person who always able to give answer and new ideas to the clients and your employee. If I step into your office and I ask you, should we continue to be operation tomorrow if one of our employee already infected with COVID-19 and you're not able to give me an answer as a boss, how should this be a good vision? The third one will be you need to have a very clear communication. The benefit that as a charisma person, you should listen and let people know what you speak and communicate with them well. The second one will be servant leader. This kind of leader, normally they will value all the growth in entire team of people in the company and tend to help them to follow their dream and ambitions. The first step that you should do will be listen. Listen to people, listen to your customer and value them to make sure they will come back again the next time. The second one will be having an empathy. If you're a dentist and you have, do I still got time? So the second one will be having empathy. And the third one will be you should be more inspired. So the modern leader will have the skill for doing, but will need the qualify of being for a personal process that support the work of business. This is not a soft skill. This is just personal demanding. Is this asking too much? Yes, but this is what we need for this season of time. Thank you, everyone. Back to you, Leonard.
Thank you, Toastmaster Taylor, for her informative speech. I will now move on to the third speaker of the evening. She is a speaker who is able to utilize her pitch of voice to articulate her points clearly. She is also coincidentally my primary school mate, but I'm not going to say whether she's my junior or senior, as age is a secret for a woman. I will now introduce Toastmaster Ashley. Before that, I will first invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Noel, to read out the speech objectives for Toastmaster Ashley. Noel.
Hi, good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and Toastmaster. Give me a thumbs up if you hear me. Good, great. So, Ashley, your speech objective, the purpose of this project is for the member to understand the type of persuasive speech and deliver a persuasive speech at the club meeting. All the best to you, Ashley. Back to you, Leonard.
Toastmaster Ashley, speech title, Persuasive Speaking. Toastmaster Ashley. No, speech title, A Beautiful Journey. Toastmaster Ashley. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. TME. Ladies and gentlemen and fellow Toastmasters members, have you ever come across people asking you these questions? What is your passion? What is your dream? 5 years ago, my husband Adam posted me this foot of thought. He said, if life, the final destiny is death, then what is the meaning of life? Why are we working so hard every day? Is it because that we need to feed our family members? Is it that we wanted to provide a good quality of life to them? If it is a yes, then life is so routine and life is so boring. Then he went on and asked me, what is your dream? What is your passion? What is your dream? Go and discover it and make sure that you make a beautiful life in this, make a beautiful journey in this life. I remember I did not answer him. I do not know what to answer him. Instead, I was sitting on the couch and I was flashing back some memories in my past, in my life thus far. From study to work, from work to marriage, marriage till I delivered 2 beautiful children. I'm so blessed that I have all this in my life, but so I still feel very empty in my heart because I feel that I'm missing something, that I couldn't do something that I'm passionate with. Yes, I do have dream. I do have passion. I do have dream. I'm passionate about public speaking. I dreamt that I wanted to be a TV program host in one day, but that was once upon a time. I remember during my college days, I did try to chase my dream. I went for some of the auditions, but after I attended, there was no news at all. I started to doubt myself. I started to think and tell myself that, yes, you are just incapable. After graduated from uni, then I went out to secure a job, which is derailed from my dream because I feel the pressure to pay the study loan and as well as provide a good quality life to my family. I was very sad. Yes, I do have a dream, but it was until that my husband told me that, yes, go and chase out your dream. And it finally revived me that I do need to chase out for my dream. And I started to be very open up to tell some of my friends that I have this passion in public speaking. And miracle happens when it comes, when I open up myself and tell people. And I was being introduced into a platform that I have the opportunity of the stage presence. I have the opportunity to do some emceeing job. And also I have the chance to meet one of the elite members, who is called Shawi. She brought me into Elite Toastmaster Club. This is a place that I've met so many of you that actually your story has touched my heart and inspired me a lot. Like Yi, your stories about swimming with the sharks. Washing, I remember you mentioned that. What is that punchline in your life? And I wanted to thank Diane Suwan for your willingness to share your knowledges. And to Wendy, I admire your determination in whatever that you are doing, no matter in your wellness or in your Toastmaster journey. And of course, to my dear mentor, who is a very dedicated mentor who helped me to challenge myself each and every time. I would like to share you with a opportunity that I had in 2 months ago. I was being offered an opportunity to host an online FB Live program. I was overwhelmed. I was very, very happy because this is something that I always look for. But on the other hand, I was terrified. I was so worried. There were so many what if in my mind that what if I couldn't host it properly? What if no one wanted to support me in the program? What if I couldn't find a guest to interview? There's so many what if in my mind. I took a deep breath and I told myself, there is no more there is no more there is, or if there is anything. I need to feel the fear in me and just do it. Because I realized it's only do it is we are never ready when we are not going to do it. Practice make perfect. And I took up the challenge and I go for it. The online program officially went online on the 1st of July. I would say that it is a very exhausting experience, but it is so fulfilling because this is something that I want. I've once heard a wise man say this: go for progressions, not perfections. And it is okay to embrace the experience. I always have this thought in mind that if I ever live until the last day in my life, when I look back the journey, it would be a beautiful journey because I have had tried to pursue my dream, my passion, my dream. And I wanted to thank this person who gave me so much of inspiration, that is our grand mentor, Chen Chu. I hope all of you would have a beautiful journey as well. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. Tian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashley, for her wonderful and inspirational story. I would like to thank all three speakers for their good speeches as well. So now it's time for us to move on to the next stage of the meeting, which is to vote for the best assignment speaker. Can I please have Toastmaster Yi to conduct the poll? Thanks.
All right, yep, it's up. All right, everyone, please cast your vote. I'll be ending the voting in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you, Yi. Now we will now move on to the next session, which is the evaluation session. To start off, I would like to invite the general evaluator, Toastmaster Washing, to speak. Toastmaster Washing.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hasnu, and thank you to all the speakers and role players in the first session. As Ashley said, a wise man once said, go for progression, not for perfection. Therefore, how do speakers progress? It is of paramount importance that we need constructive feedback to know where we need to work on and where we are good at. Therefore, as the general evaluator for tonight, my role is to facilitate the evaluation session. And I am also responsible in providing feedback to the meeting participants who have not already been evaluated, such as the TME, the Table Topics Masters, Table Topics evaluator, and so on. Therefore, without any further ado, let me first evaluator, our doctor in the house, Dr. Aruna, to evaluate Suwan's speech on what drives you. Over to you, Toastmaster Aruna.
Thank you, Toastmaster Washing. Toastmaster Suwan, what drives me? What drives me? If I can't find the answer, I continue to dream. I love that opening sentence of yours. So catching. I can really see you speaking in a professional capacity as what your purpose is in life. I loved your overall demeanor. I love that you were very calm. I love that you wore blue color because it shows that blue color is a color that makes you feel very calm and inspires a lot of confidence, together with your background as well. I loved that you did not use your hands as much as the previous speech. That is very good if you want to inspire confidence. I loved the overall effect of the speech. I loved the simple explanations that you used to explain your points. I also enjoyed a little bit of the Doraemon fashion, which was the polling. There was an extra factor. The use of the whiteboard to explain your simple points. Excellent. However, a challenge for you is because we are using Zoom, you will lose your eye contact and you will lose your factor if you turn around and face a whiteboard. So many times you were trying to explain your points very clearly. I understood the meaning of it, but this point, if you want to explain it through a whiteboard, it is best when you are in front of a live audience. Then people will be able to get a better impact from you. However, since we are on Zoom, we lose the interaction between you and the impact and power of your speech at that certain point. However, I loved that your speech was very well rehearsed, very well researched. I loved that you used power, purpose, and proficiency to give impact to all of your points. And I will end by saying that you succeeded in persuading me, Toastmaster Suwan. Congratulations. What an excellent effort. Back to you, Grand Evaluators. Watching.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aruna. Toastmaster Aruna, I really like how every time you come out on stage to evaluate, you always have this enthusiasm. You always open with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. And I find that your evaluation is also very observational because you not only touch on the speech, but you also talk on the tools that the speaker used. So kudos, continue to work on your evaluation. Okay, now for our second evaluator, I would like to welcome Sloan up on stage to evaluate Taylor's speech on being, not doing. Over to you, Toastmaster Sloan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Washeng. All right, being, not doing. Such an inspiring title that you have chosen for your speech, Taylor. Congratulations on choosing such a wonderful title. I like the way you open your speech by addressing some of the common problems that most of us are experiencing right now, and especially this period of time. I believe that this really helps our audience, your audience, to resonate with their problem quickly by just addressing all these problems. And also you have listed all the good points of being a good leader in such detailed way that everyone can relate it in all kind of situation. Because that you have given a lot of relevant example that help your audience can relate it back, like experience that when they go for a dentist, all these kind of small things, it really helps your audience to understand the point of being a great leader. However, my point of improvement for Taylor is that I think that it is okay for you to not holding your earphone while you speak, because when you're holding your earphone, you're holding your mic at this position, it kind of blocks the view and you feel rigid. You feel that way you give your speech very rigid, that it's kind of like restricted your body movement. And also my challenge for Taylor, for you, is that if you can show us more of your personal opinion in your speeches, as currently most of the points you have made are very general, it will be better for your audience to understand it, more interesting for your audience to be listened. And also I will encourage you that when the next time you realize that you are running out of time in your speech, it is okay for you to not react to it, but you can just quickly skip to your conclusions. And that's it for my evaluation. And thank you so much. And back to you, Toastmaster Washing.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Icelone. Let's give another round of applause. Yeah, Toastmaster Icelone, I found that your evaluation has improved tremendously because now you touch a little deeper compared to the usual eye contact, tone and pacing and so on. I found that you've gone a little bit deeper, as in you reminded the speaker to not panic when the time is running out and to go a little deeper instead of just being general on her topic. So kudos on that. But one thing to take note of, instead of using we and the audience in your evaluation, perhaps you might want to use me because it's your personal opinion of what you felt about the speech. But anyway, a terrific job that you have done. Next up, I would like to welcome the last evaluator for tonight, Toastmaster Noel, to evaluate Ashley's speech on A Beautiful Journey. Over to you, Toastmaster Noel.
Thank you, Washing. Thank you. First of all, Ashley, amazing job. Overall, you deliver an excellent performance. And first of all, I really want to give credits on a particular one strength that you delivered during overall the speech. I feel that you are talking to me all the while because being in a Zoom meeting, I think keep staring at the camera is a very challenging part to do so, and you did it successfully. So like I was sitting here back here, I can feel like as if you were talking to me because sometimes our eyes just tend to sway away from the camera. I have to tell you, you never fail to do that. So your eye will glue on the camera, and I have a feeling that you were talking to me. So that is fantastic, and I can feel your passions. You know, like you actually deliver a very good, inject a very good emotional in your storytelling. Especially there is a part in your speech that you say that you were sad because your husband, because you cannot find your passions, and there I can felt your struggles. You actually has delivered your sense of sad emotions by having a short pause. And also I like your postures, okay, as if like even though you're in your room, but I can see that, I can feel like you are like yourself or the very good composed state presence, and you're very good and comfortable with your body gestures and everything. And I feel like I was really listening to a speech as if we are in like a venue like we used to have in the Toastmaster in a mini theater. So that is what I like about you overall, and very engaging story and very inspiring. And you also took us on a journey about from your family and then to how you actually pursue your passion now. So I have a one point of improvement suggestion for you, my point of view. The objective of this speech is persuasive speech. So in a way, you need to influence our view with your own point of view. So I think I suggest you to have a strong ending point. Although I remember that the last is go for progression, not perfection. But somehow I think you can add a little bit more sense of urgency in your ending to impact or influence the view of the audience. So that's my point for you to take away, Ashley. And overall, I really love your speech. Thank you. Back to you, Washington.
Woo! Thank you, Toastmaster Noel. Now, Toastmaster Noel, you are a very encouraging evaluator. I find it really encouraging because when you were evaluating, you had a really big, warm smile on your face, and your whole demeanor was just exuding this kind of warmth. And I really love how throughout your whole evaluation, you had a general theme, which is you felt like the speaker were talking to you, and you list down the points of why you felt so. So a wonderful job on that. Thank you for the evaluation. Okay, so now we would like to move on to voting for the best evaluator of the night. So may we have the voting bank here?
Yep, the voting is up, guys. Time for you to cast a vote. All right,
Okay.
I'll be ending the poll in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you, guys. Back to you,
Okay.
Ching.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yi. All right, now we would like to move on to the technical session of the evaluation. And first off, I would like to introduce a very paramount role for tonight, which is the grammarian of the night, Toastmaster Chun Chun, to give his grammarian's report. Over to you, Toastmaster Chun Chun.
Thank you very much, Washing, for effortfully use the word of the day, paramount. And I want to especially acknowledge you because you are the only one, I believe you are the only one that used. I think there's another one, but I think I'm probably somewhere in my notes. But I think for the purpose of this grammarian report, I want to really highlight on some of the good practices when it comes to using words carefully and tactfully and strategically to bring out the flavor of your speech. I'll go speaker by speaker, not all, but some of the speaker that is worth mentioning. So I will start off with the table topic speaker. First is Vanessa. So Vanessa, I noticed that you have a lot of good words, but sometimes when you speak out the words, you tend to add some very odd alphabet at the end of your word. Like instead of knowing, you will say knowing. I don't know why the K suddenly appear there. Or persons, a lot of S, progressings, financial freedoms. So try to work out to be more careful when you end a certain word. Don't try to add additional spices at the end. So try to focus on that. As for the next speaker, Galvin, you have a very good command of the language. I really like that. But I noticed that there is a specific alphabet that I thought you could purposefully work on, and that is the alphabet V. Because your HAVE you go have. Your believe, you go belief. Solve, the way you say it is solve. So your V is being replaced by. So if you can just focus on the V sound more consciously, it will add more resonance to the way you speak. That's for Galvin. As for Vance reminds me of Noelle when she just joined Elite. So today I want to so try to add more emphasis in the words you use. So that will bring out that the meaning out. Try to add more expression. One of the person that you all can learn from is Rachel, our table topic master today. Every time she infused the word, it's always very expressive. I'm somebody who planned for everything. You see, that everything comes out very nice. Let's do it. So we need to be conscious and intentful when we use the words. Melanie, I love Melanie's way when she pronounced certain vowels like so or now. I think it's a Filipino style of speaking, but it just brings out that word up to life. So it's like there's a swing of when she pronounced certain vowels in the words she used. I want to give a special mention to Leonard. Leonard is always somebody who is very, very effortful in every single word he uses. His mouth movement is one of the most highest rate of mouth movement among all the members in the club. So he actually say out the words. Okay, so then the words come out very clearly. So special mention to Leonard. As for the speaker, Suwan, be very careful when you use the word P-O-L-L. I noticed this mistake a lot of times. It's not pool, it's pole. Pool is swimming pool. So when you say, Yi, please launch the pool, I thought we got pool party. So it's pole. And Suwan try to speak slower. You tend to speak very fast. Force yourself to speak slower. Be economical with the words you use. You will notice your credibility level will go up a notch higher. As for Taylor, you have a habit of not pronouncing the final alphabet in your word. Like lockdown, the way you say it is lockdown, switch, swish. And your trait, T-R-A-I-T, you mentioned as tread. So it's an opposite meaning, trait and tread. So be very careful in that. But I like the way you add action to a certain word. Take a leap action to this new leadership style. So very nice. Another example, a lot from Ashley as well. Ashley, you have derail from my dream. So derail from my dream. Action and then a word. Open myself up. The story has touched my heart. For Ashley, you have a lot of good alliteration, a lot of repetition, which is very good. I do have a dream. I do have a passion. I do have a dream. I was overwhelmed. I was very, very happy. What if, what if, what if? So you added a lot of this kind of, combination of words. So I want to really encourage you guys to force yourself to build beautiful phrases. So today I caught a few words that have similar sounding words. Feel the fear. Wow, very nice. Purpose, fuel, passion. Charismatic and confidence. Exhausting experience. So try your very best to force yourself to find a nice combination of words. You'll be surprised once you're able to do that, you will love the English language even more. And when you have enough musical notes in the way you speak, then you can play a beautiful music. With that, I wish all of you all the best, something that we should all be proud of, that we are in a good club, that we emphasize on the command of the language. Back to you, Suwan. No, not Suwan, Washing.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chen Chun. Wow, wasn't that insightful? Every time we listen to Chen Chun's evaluation, it is as if he has just gave us another mini workshop. Wow, that was fantastic. Anyway, I also noticed that Chen Chun has very sharp ears. And I also love how Chen Chun always have this power of improvising, because you notice that pronunciation is something that most of us are lacking. So he focused more on the pronunciation of each of the members and the guests for today. So thank you for that. All right, now moving on, I would like to welcome the R counter for tonight, Toastmaster Vanessa, for her R counters report. Over to you, Toastmaster Vanessa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Washing. Fellow Toastmaster and guests, it was a pleasure listening carefully to all of you tonight. I got a lot out of it, and better me counting all your R and and well and so. So I understand that we all use crutch words, and they help us to fill the gap in the conversations or during a speech when we are so unsure of how to proceed. Even for myself, or haven't quite thought out the best way to position something. Sometimes they are formed out of a habit, so ingrained in our way of speaking that it almost seems unnatural if we didn't use or all right? So now I'll give you a feedback, which is of course to bring your awareness to your speaking and to help you improve. And I know some members challenge themselves from meeting to meeting to see if they can do better than they did in the previous meeting. So here we go. For EJ, you have 1 2 so. Leonard, you have 2 so. Yi, you have 1 Mingyan, you have 7 3 4 so. So you could be more generous with the Suwan none. Ashley also none. Wasing, you have 1 and 4 so. And others are good. And that will do it for my record. Back to you, Toastmaster Wasing.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vanessa. Yes, let's give her another big round of applause. Thank you, Toastmasters Vanessa. Toastmasters Vanessa, what I find interesting about your R-Counters report is how you inform us the reasons of why we use double clutches. And by doing that, you bring consciousness and awareness onto us to be more aware of how we speak, especially when we're nervous. And also you brought about methods to improve and to cut down. So that was a very unique way of expressing an R-Counters report. Wonderful job on that. Now, moving on, I would like to welcome the last technical role player for tonight, Toastmaster Jingman, for her timekeeper's report. Can we give her a big hand? Over to you, Toastmaster Jingman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Washing. Allow me to share screen. Okay, everyone can see the screen. Okay, so our meeting starting on time, 8 p.m. and calling meeting to order by FAAEE. Time given is 1 minute. EE take 2 minutes. President address by Hasno. Time given is 7 minutes. Hasno use 9 minutes 30 seconds. So suggestion is need to allocate more time as we have more guests for virtual meeting. Host ceremony address by EJ. Time given 5 minutes. EJ use 6 minutes 30 seconds. So for the TNE Nanette, time given 10 minutes. Nanette use 10 minutes 39 seconds. For the table topic master Rachel, time given 12 minutes. Minute use 15 minutes. Can allocate more time in this session since we only have 3 speakers tonight. So this is not Rachel problem, it's VP Jingman. So have to watch out. And for the table topic speaker Vanessa, time given 2 minutes. So Vanessa take 1 minute 45 seconds. Our guest Gavin take 1 minute 30 seconds. Manani take 1 minute 35 seconds. And then 1 minute 31 seconds. So for the table topic evaluator Minion, time given is 6 minutes. Minion take 5 minutes 35 seconds. So just good. The intermission part, time given is 3 minutes. So we back on time. Good job, SAE. So for the assignment speech, speaker Suwan, time given 5 to 7 minutes. Wait. Suwan take 7 minutes 55 seconds. Speaker Taylor 7 minutes 55 seconds. And for the Ashley, Washing and Aruna, sorry for that because I lost the internet, so I skipped. So sorry for that. So for the evaluation part, Iceland, time given 3 minutes. We take 1 minute 52 seconds. Now 2 minutes 55 seconds. For the preliminary report, Toastmaster Chenchen, time given is 5 minutes. So you take 6 minutes 20 seconds. And for the R-Counter report, Toastmaster Vanessa, time given is 3 minutes. You take 1 minute 39 seconds. I forget to time myself. So there's all my timer report. Back to you, Toastmaster Washing.
Washing. Sorry, Washing, I have to cut it for a while. Jingman, would you mind to assign me back to be the host of the meeting? Because I was trying to get you to share screen, so I assigned you to be the host, but I need to take control of the meeting. So please assign me back the role of the host and just carry on with the meeting. I'll pass the control back to Washing. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Jingman and Toastmaster Yi. If you notice on the agenda, Jingman is our last minute timer, and I find that she did a very fantastic and terrific job on that. And I especially adore how Toastmaster Jingman infused creativity and fun into timekeeping. If you notice, she used Powerpuff Girls to express the timing that we have left. So instead of us feeling the pressure, we felt like we were being nudged to keep to the time. So kudos on that. But perhaps just one point you might want to take into consideration for your next timekeeper's report is perhaps sharing with us what are the importances of keeping to the time so that the speakers and the role players will be more conscious. All right, now moving on, it's my time to share my general evaluators report. First off, I'd like to start off with before the meeting. I find that indeed it's true, purpose fuels passion. And I find that it's very apparent in the new EXCO team. One thing that all of us must have received is the invitation to attend the meeting by Suwan. And the second thing is that how the SAA of the club actually sent me the general evaluators report before the meeting so that I have a general idea of what my role is all about. So thank you for that. Okay, now moving on to the meeting itself. We started off with the energetic bunny of the club, Yi, with her SAA role. We started off with a very strong footing because Yi was very clear and concise on the rules of an online meeting. Other than that, she gave a very clear transition to the president. Now, moving on to the president, Hasnul. For his second time presiding, I found that he actually facilitated the session pretty well by welcoming the guests and asking the guests for an introduction to make the guests feel more welcome and at home at our club. Perhaps I would like to hear more about your take on the topic itself, because as a president, you are to set the tone for the meeting. Hence, I look forward to more short and sweet, inspiring stories from you in your next presidential opening so that you can uplift the spirit of the members and set the tone for the meeting. Okay, moving on to the toast of the night, Yijie. Yijie, for your first time doing the toast, I find that you are very good at crafting stories and immersing us with your Bing and you story. However, in the interest of time, perhaps you might want to cut down on some components of the story and get to the essence of the story so that you do not run out of time and you can focus more on the message itself. Because as the toast, you are to inspire the audience to take up a certain action. Therefore, by cutting down on certain components of the story and by channeling more time to the message part, perhaps you could have you could infuse more inspiration in the audience. Okay, now moving on to the Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Leonard. Well, what more can I say? Because Toastmaster Chun Chun has already said it. Toastmaster Leonard always have this very soothing and powerful way of commanding the meeting. And you can see that, you can also hear that from his tone. He has this very, it's not a very down tone, but instead is a very kind of uplifting tone. You can hear it's like very, I don't know how to call it, just uplifting. Yeah. And one thing I find amazing about Leonard is how he has this twist on the old story of Toastmaster by adding his own personal view of how Toastmaster has changed his life. However, just one point that you might want to consider is, I notice here and there you have a little bit of a slip of a tongue. So perhaps before you take on the role as the TME, before you introduce the next role player, perhaps you might want to look back on the agenda and ensure that you know who is coming up next, so that you don't get too caught up or panic at the very last minute. Okay, all right. Moving on to the R counter, grammarian, and timer. I guess I've said it all just now. So I will now just jump to the TTM, the table topic master, Rachel. And indeed, I can feel that whenever Rachel does a speech or carry out any role, she always put this passion into it. And today was no exception. Instead of just explaining why table topics is important, she captured the essence by sharing with us a personal story and even opening up with a question. In fact, she even brought in some humor. I also love the way how she was very creative by using a time machine analogy by posing very introspective and retrospective questions for us to ponder. So kudos on that. And lastly, on the table topic evaluator, Ming Yan, for your first time, I find that you did very well. Indeed, it was kind of like a table topic, as in an impromptu evaluation for you, because the timing was very fast. However, I find that you did very well. And that you were very observant about the speakers, and you did juggle listening and writing down very well. However, just one point to take note. Perhaps you could talk more about how the speaker's speech or speeches made you feel. I find that you lack this one. Perhaps tell us, how did the speaker make you feel emotionally? What did the speakers did well or could do better? For example, you mentioned good pace. Perhaps you can say good pace, therefore it's very easy to follow. Okay, and that's all for my part. Thank you all for a very interesting and insightful night again. And for the last session, I would like to pass back to our honorable Toastmaster of the evening for tonight, Toastmaster Leonard. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Washing. First of all, I would like to record my appreciation to all the evaluators, including Toastmaster Washing, for their insightful and valuable feedbacks. To all the guests, this is also one of the benefits of joining Toastmasters. You will be able to hear from valuable experienced Toastmasters who are perhaps further down the journey of Toastmasters than you, to share their feedback with you. I'll move on to, at the beginning of before I kick off the prepared speech session, I mentioned that the speakers, all three speakers today, will endeavor and try their best to inform, impress, and inspire everyone here today. I would like to announce that they have successfully do this. Suwan, through his speech, What Drives You, is impressive in the sense that he used a very rich and captivating body language coupled with his effort to properly set up the room so he can deliver his speech by standing up. And this is impressive to me. As for Taylor, he spoke about being, not doing, and explained to us different types of leadership, modern leadership style, including servant leadership, and what are the most important characteristics that modern leaders demonstrate. The message is very clear: charismatic, confidence, communications are the essential characteristics that modern leaders should possess. So Taylor gave a very informative speech. As for Ashley, her speech was inspirational to me as she shared her personal story of how she transitioned from one stage of her life to the another stage of her life, and throughout the process he realized that journey is more important than the end result. And it is very important at the end of the day, when we are at the tail end of our life, we are able to look back and tell ourselves that we have done our best, we have did our best to chase our dreams and passion. So all the speakers did well and achieve what they endeavor to do. Moving on to the table topic speaker, I noticed that there are quite a few guests and new speakers, and I would like to congratulate all the new speakers for having the courage to step up to deliver table topics. It is not easy, and all of you have done well. As for the seasoned Toastmasters, I feel that all the table topics answers were informative, and they were able to capture my attention to listen to the whole answer. So well done, and kudos to all of you, all of the table topic speaker. So I'll now move on to the highlight of the night, which is the presentation of awards to the best table topics speaker, best prepared speech speaker, and the best evaluator. I'll start by announcing the best topics speaker. Can I get everyone to just do a show of hands to cheer? Okay. The best table topic speaker is Melanie. Congratulations, Melanie. I'll move on to the next prepared speech. Best prepared speech, best speaker of the night is no other than Ashley. Congratulations, Ashley, and well done. And the third one is the best evaluator of the night. The best evaluator for tonight is Noel, Toastmaster Noel. I presented all the awards to the best table topics speaker, best speaker, and best evaluator. But I would like to assure the other speakers that do not despair. All of you have done well. And I will now pass on the stage, the floor, to the president of the club, Toastmaster Hasnu. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard, for the lovely and conducting of the meeting very well. Hopefully, you're able to improve more in the upcoming meeting. Good. So I can see we have a lot of guests and members, and hopefully guests able to learn and experience what our hashtag we as elite we expect more. And I would just want to share with you guys one quote from Suzu. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This quote that I use in my first speech, Icebreaker, when I'm delivering my first speech in Elite Toastmaster Club. And yes, after that, I never looking back behind. I look forward, which I believe this platform, the Toastmaster program, is a good platform for us as a member to learn, improve in their communication skills, and learning on the leadership aspect as well. Now, let's move to the guest. I just want to hear guest feedback and appreciate your feedback on our meeting today. Your valuable input is very important for us to improve our cup quality. Can I have first guest, Uyun?
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Hasnul. Maybe like when I came to this club, it's my first time. Then I got like warm welcome from all of you. And the one thing that I learned a lot today is the personalized feedback. So the GE, the grammarian, and all role takers always encourage each other. And I like when table topic evaluation, I guess it's very new for me. And I forgot who is the role taker, but the table topic evaluator give really personalized, for example, like I remember he said like, the first time I saw you, you were like this, but then you improved like this. That kind of thing is very wonderful because every member always keep eye on each other. And I really like that. I don't think I have any feedback because it's me actually who learned a lot from this club. Hopefully next time I can also join this club again. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster Hasnul.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uyun. Thank you for your comment. So hopefully we're able to see back again in our next clubbing meeting. And can I have a Calvin? Calvin?
You were calling me? Sorry.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for having me. I think this is one of the best club meeting that I have ever visited, and I do think this is one of the most structured club meeting that I also have experienced. So I think this is a very important lesson for SCBD Toastmaster Club, that maybe we can apply some lesson directly for tomorrow's meeting at 8 p.m. Malaysia time, at 8 p.m. KL time. If you are able to join, please do come to our club's meeting. And we will share the meeting link in the chat room. Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you. Yeah, we are happy to join in your meeting tomorrow. We look forward for your meeting. So please share your link to us. And can I have Melanie to give feedback regarding on our meetings?
Hello, good evening. Actually, I'm a new member in SCBD Toastmasters, and I'm really impressed with your meeting tonight. Well, I have three things. The first, three adjectives: interesting. The other one is informative, and it's incredible meeting. Especially when it comes to informative, it's too detailed that I love listening to all the evaluation and even speeches. It's like, I think this, though it's not the first time, but this is the first time that I really listened and wrote down the informations that I've got from the speakers tonight, and that's incredible. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. So all the SCBD club members, you are welcome again. Visit to our Elite Toastmaster meeting on the next meeting. Okay, then let's move to our next guest, John. These are your second attempt meeting. So appreciate your feedbacks.
I feel like then again, I mean, so I've learned quite what do you call that impressive thing through this meeting. and then new words, and then how to approach based on the topic with the audience, and then the body language and the comments given by all the participants is really like encouraging and also kind of a, what do you call it, self-boosting of how I should be like these persons, the participant. So that's what I feel, and I'm looking forward. And then I maybe soon or later I also want to indulge, and I would like to give my speech also as well based on the topic, and then I would like to abide in this club. I mean, hopefully, that's all.
Thank you, John. Thank you. So we lovely to have you to be one of our club member. So please do keep in touch with our Vice President of Memberships, Suwan Boma, to have and understand our club. Thank you, Suwan. And then let's move to our beautiful guests, which they found out from our social media. If any appreciate your feedback for us to improve ourselves.
Hi, good evening. I don't think I got a feedback, but I really enjoyed the 2 hours, and all the feedback is actually like very intense and very valuable to all the presenter and the speaker. I think I can learn a lot. Yeah.
Thank you, Eve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we able to see you again in our next meeting.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Can I have a next guest, Geneva? These are Vanessa friend. How about what you feel
Hi.
after you seeing Vanessa delivering your speech?
I think it's a really eye opener for me. It's my first time. I didn't really expect that it would be this good and very structured. And I think all the feedback from the evaluator, it's really detailed yet not personal, and it's very practical and very applicable to the speakers that they can apply it on their next speeches. So I really looking forward to attend the next meeting as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Geneva. So that's beauty about Toastmaster program. We have all the proper structure in place where members can continue, learn, and grow by themselves. And let's move to our next guest, Vanessa, far away from Dubai. Vanessa, appreciate your feedback.
Hi, first and foremost, I would like to thank Suwan for enable me and my friend to join this club, and Yi as well for this for the starters, like making us feeling so comfortable and welcome, and to the rest of the members as well. And I learned a lot from this meeting, where there's a lot of opportunity, and I can see of how people think in different perspective and ways when given a very broad topics. And in terms of evaluation, I feel that it's very detailed and open, and how straightforward structured that you guys give in um, each speakers. And I felt that it's very good for us to improve. And yeah, I'm looking forward, and hopefully I could join the next meeting if you guys have in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. We do have our next meeting. Don't worry, we're happy to have you in our next meeting. And next guest, Janice. Janice, the floor is you.
Okay, so this is actually my first time joining Toastmasters meeting, and I think that it has a really good sense of ceremony, because like everybody knows what to do. Like they even give a toast. I didn't know you guys give a toast in the Toastmasters meeting, so that's one very surprising fact for me. So yeah, I think I learned a lot of stuff I've always wanted to learn like how to speak better, and I definitely learned a lot of stuff from the members and from all those spontaneous speaking sessions. I really learned a lot, and I think I'll be joining the next meeting as well. Yeah, so that's all for my feedback. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Janice. Yes, we do have incredible ideas. Please keep in touch and do join in our next meeting. You will find more learning things that you can find out. And our last gourmet, you just you just joined our meeting. We just about to end our meeting session. Gourmet.
Okay, wonderful meeting. I really enjoyed the features, the table topics, as well as the president's opening and the conclusion. Yeah, so in conclusion, I really enjoyed the meeting. Thank you. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Gumit. Hopefully you did not having jet lag
No.
or having a wrong time zone. Okay, thank you, guests, for giving a lovely feedback. Hopefully you are able to embrace and promote Elite Toastmaster experience and do share your experience with others. Therefore, other people can able to attend and share, and also having a same experience what you had in our Elite Toastmaster meeting. And I would like to big thanks to all our first-time role players like Rachel, Yijing, and Mian for taking up a challenge and overcome their fear by delivering and be a first time in the role play. Hopefully this will be a next milestone for you to have other role play as well. And the next big thing that I want to is to Jiman for last minute start up as a timer role play. I really appreciate that. Without you, we can't move anywhere. And lastly, Cheng Chun for showing a good command of the language. And Cheng Chun, after this, you need to conduct the second session on how to use a language and also pronounce the language. And probably after this, you need to get our friends from SCBD to join as well for them to learn. And before we leave, I want to relate back what Sowan mentioned in his speech. Ask yourself, what drives you? Think over it, and do share with us in next meeting. And to all guests, you are free to coming and attend on our next meeting on the 13th August to experience our hashtag Elite. We expect more. Stay safe and good night to everybody.
Group photo, group photo, group photo.
Group photo, guys, don't leave first.
Group photo.
If I may to ask everyone to turn on your video, and because we have more than 25 participants today, I'll have to take 2 screenshots, yeah? Taylor and Vanessa, would you mind to open up your, yep, cool. All right, so let's look at the camera, and 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right, a moment, yeah, I need to screenshot the next page. All right, one more time. 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right, let me check on the photo. All right, Jingwen, stop replying message because it's going to pop up and it's going to interrupt the photo. All right, everyone stop replying the message for a moment. All right, 1, 2, 3, cheese. Cool. All right, let me check on the photo. All good. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll pass back the control to Hasno.
Thank you, Ye, for taking up the picture. Okay, thank you, guys. Hopefully, we're able to see you again in our next meeting. Stay safe and have a nice day. Thank you.
Take a break. I'm a hot air balloon.